Hey everyone, it's Sam Bryant from Bryant Taylor Law, and today we're discussing if an independent contractor should get an LLC. Before we get into it, Bryant Taylor Law is a business law firm. We help business owners start businesses, and we also help business partners resolve their partnership disputes. So, should independent contractors get LLCs? I believe so. I think generally they're going to be a good idea. It's a very low cost thing to set up an LLC, and the ongoing requirements are very flexible. And they provide two main benefits: asset protection in case you are liable for a judgment, and tax efficiency. We're business lawyers, so we were not going to really get into the tax part of it. So we're going to mainly focus on the asset protection part. So if you're an independent contractor and you're doing work in your own individual name, you are interacting with people, and every interaction that you have with a customer or a vendor, client, whatever, when you're doing business is potential exposure for a lawsuit. And every contract you sign, every project you take on is going to increase that exposure. So if you are doing work in your own individual name, the worst thing that could happen to you is something were to happen, and it may not even be your fault, but you have a contract or you have an agreement and something goes wrong, and customer, client, vendor decides they want to sue you. They're going to sue you in your own individual name. So that means that if you lose the lawsuit, you are going to be responsible to pay that judgment. And if you don't have the cash to pay the judgment, then your other assets could potentially be seized to pay that judgment. So if you have an LLC and you're in the same scenario, so you have an LLC, you do some work and something goes wrong, you get sued and you lose, the LLC has to pay the judgment. So the extent of your liability is whatever the LLC owns. Your other assets outside of the LLC, so assets that are not owned by the LLC, won't be touched to satisfy judgments against the LLC. So I hope you can see from there that when you're doing work as an independent contractor, it really does benefit you to put your business into an LLC, and then again you have the tax benefits as well. Having said all of that, there was a scenario that I did come across before where it was not in the independent contractor's best interest to form an LLC. It doesn't really happen often, and it happened because, so essentially is we decided not to advise them to form an LLC because this particular person was in some sort of government program that had income requirements. So I think one of the requirements was that they were not allowed to own a certain percentage in any type of company. So when you have an LLC is a company, and if you're an independent contractor and you form an LLC, then obviously you're going to own 100% of a company. And so having that would have violated the terms of that government benefit. And so in that case, then it wouldn't have been advisable for that person to own an LLC. But in just pretty much any other case, it's really not going to hurt you if you're an independent contractor to form an LLC. It's only going to help. If you, as long as you're good at your record keeping and you're keeping your bank accounts separate when you're forming the LLC and you're maintaining the annual requirements, then you're going to see that you're protecting yourself a lot more as an LLC owner than just doing business in your own individual name. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything in the comments, or if there's anything in the videos that you feel that you would like for us to talk about more, please feel free to let us know. We're here for you. We like to provide content that we feel provides you value. So hope you enjoy, and we'll talk soon.